So you might actually believe that you're a procrastinator, you're someone who can't get things done for some reason, might think you have a spiritual problem, a mental problem, whatever it may be. And I'll be honest with you, I had the same dogma, I had the same stigma around myself. I say probably just a year ago, really, in terms of productivity, just not really understanding why I couldn't do, or why I was hindering myself or inhibiting myself from doing what needed to be done. I mean, I wake up every single day, either eat pizza and just scroll online, or just be doing things that were really not in alignment with my long-term goals. And if you're in that stage right now, worse than that, similar to it, I'll be honest with you, there's really just one simple thing that I'm going to go over right now in this piece of content that you can actually do and apply to your life right now. And I, without doubt, know that 100% it will tremendously change the trajectory of your productivity in your day-to-day life. Okay, what I'm going to go over right now, it will not only give you more time to focus on probably your family or friends and stuff like that, but also really help you become more productive and efficient with your work. Because, you could be working for 10, 12, 15 hours, all that kind of stuff. But if you're not working in a productive and efficient manner, or working on what's really important, it's really of no benefit at all. So with that kind of being said, one truth I really want to have you understand is that you're not unproductive, okay? You're just really ambiguous, okay? You're ambiguous on what to actually do, okay? You're ambiguous on what you should actually be doing and how you should actually approach it. Maybe you should be making content. Maybe you should be making friends or going to events, but you don't know the specific steps to go about doing it. Right? You don't know, hey, this is step 1, this is step 2, this is step 3, like a tutorial. And a lot of times, this unproductivity, this continuous reflexive cycle that you're in of just not being productive, it really just stems from ambiguity, not knowing what to do and how to actually do it. So in order for you to be able to know what to do and how to do it, you need to gain pristine clarity. And everything from my perspective that I'm doing, and of course, because I'm telling you and teaching you from what I've done, right, and what's been helping me. I'm pretty sure, 100% confident, once you apply, you'll get the same results. But if not, also, worst case scenario, at least you tried, right? So, how to gain, like I was saying, pristine clarity. Number one, of course, is everything derives, like I was saying, from goals. You need to be 100% clear. You need to gain clarity on first what it is that you want, okay? And this could be, for each individual is going to be different, right? If you're looking to make money, if you're looking to grow your business, if whatever it may be, for you, your goal is going to be different in comparison to mine. But because we all listening to this are either entrepreneurs, business owners, I'm just going to use a simple metric, and that's going to be making more money, right? And let's say, for example, hypothetically, you want to make $100,000 within the next 6 months, okay? And within the next 6 months, or within the next 3 months, you want to make $100,000, okay? Then how many people do we need to get basically to be able to make that $100,000? If we want to make $100,000, how many people do we need? Okay, then we need to identify what our average client is worth to us. And let's say hypothetically, every client that signs up with you is worth $10,000 at a minimum. Okay, cool. That means you need 10 clients. Awesome. So how are you going to go about getting those clients then? What is your channel going to be for getting attention? Because obviously we need to get attention to be able to convert that into meetings. So my medium that I use currently, and I'm going to continue using, because once again, simplicity is what scales, and you want to make sure you reduce any friction. So if you're ambiguous right now and like, okay, I want to make $100,000 within the next 3 months, but I could do ads, I could do this. Hey, choose the simplest thing, which is what I choose all the time, cold calling, because it's by far the fastest and straightforward thing that you could actually start doing it right now as you watch this video. You just go ahead and scrape a lead list and start calling. That's why I love cold calling, because it is the fastest way to test a hypothesis, and also be able to generate revenue. I can make 100 cold calls right now to either business brokers or private equity companies, if I have their phone, mobile numbers, of course. And without doubt, I know I'll be able to book at least 5 calls minimum just by 100 cold calls. So cool. Number one, we identified how much we want to make, $100,000, right? That was the goal. And we said that every client to us is worth $10,000. So we need 10 clients to be able to make $100,000 within the next 3 months. Awesome. And what channel are we going to use to get these clients? What channel are we going to use to gain attention? And let's say hypothetically it's going to be cold email. It's going to be cold calling, right? Just to make things simple. Cold calling. Oh, cool. So we're going to use cold calling. So how many cold calls do we need to do to be able to get those 10 clients? Well, let's say hypothetically your KPIs is for every 100 calls you book 3 calls. So with that being said, how many of those people when it comes to those calls turn into clients? You need to identify that too, because in order to plan for complete clarity and know what you're going to do every single day, you need to have these metrics down to the T. So hopefully you're still here with me. So let's say for every 100 cold calls you get 3 book calls. So for every 3 book calls that you get, let's say 2 people show up. If 2 people show up for every 2 calls and 1 person turns into a client, that means you need to at least go ahead and book about 5 to 6 calls, basically. Because if you book 6 calls, that basically means only 4 people are going to show up. And if 4 people show up, that means only 2 people are going to convert into actual clients. That means if you do 100 cold calls with these KPIs, of course, if you do 100 cold calls at least every single week, okay, for a minimum of about even a month, you can have your $100,000, literally, okay? And the reason why you want to choose a longer time frame is because sometimes things happen, right? Of course, you can break things down to as clear as this, of course, but still some things might happen along the way within the journey. So you want to give some room for error. So let's say hypothetically we figured out for every 100 cold calls that we do, we end up getting about what is it called? We end up getting about 2 clients, basically, right? So that's great. No, for every 200 cold calls, my apologies. For every 200 cold calls we do, we end up basically getting about 200, because for every 100 cold calls, that's when we get a 3 book call. So we need to basically do 200 cold calls to get 6 book calls and have 4 people show up and have 2 convert to actual clients. So how do you convert this into, this is how you're going to basically plan though, right? To gain clarity on what to do every single day. Because now you know I need to do 100 cold calls every single day, or at least 200 cold calls for me to be able to essentially get, $20,000. Because for 6 calls, 4 people show up and 2 convert. So, but how do you now go ahead and actually do this in the day-to-day? So what you're basically going to do now is, since you identify you need to make 200 cold calls, now you know that every single day you need 200 new leads. You need 200 phone numbers every single day to call, right? And what you're basically going to do now is, first you're going to open up your calendar. You're going to basically just put this in your calendar. First thing in the morning, step 1, get the new lead list. Step 2, open up the dialer. Step 3, start making phone calls. Step 4, conduct your Zoom calls. Step 5, that's how you're basically going to go ahead and do it. So it's a really, really a simple process, even though this is a quick and dirty explanation that I did. But I just wanted to give you a quick, understanding of how to actually just do what needs to be done without any kind of ambiguity. Okay, you need to identify, number 1, what your goal is, what specific approach you're going to take for that outcome to happen, that goal to happen, of course, and then identify what key steps need to happen for that goal to come into fruition. So for me, for example, I know that I want to make $100,000 within the next 3 months. I know I need to get 10 clients to get that $100,000. And I know cold calling is going to be my channel. So therefore, I'm going to go ahead and get a lead list. I'm going to cold call every single day, the specific time frame. And when you plan like this also, it gives you certainty. So it removes ambiguity in terms of knowing what to do, and also increases certainty. And certainty, the more certainty you have, the more you're prone to taking action, because from belief stems action, of course. With that being said, this is just a quick one that I wanted to make. Hopefully you liked it, and look forward to seeing you on our next one, basically.